I'm Judy Steiner-Williams, and I teach in the Kelley Business School. And the course I teach is C204 Business Communication. And in that course, students are exposed to a plethora of business writing, the memos and letters and reports and some oral presentations. It's a required course for the Kelley students to get into, and it also qualifies as one of the intensive writing classes. In the past, I've normally had them read the e-text, and then I would quiz them on it, and then I would re-lecture on the material. Then they would have a document that was for a grade. Recently, because of the Active Learning Grant, I've been able to have them listen to the material, give them a quiz on it, but then when they come to class that day, I put them into teams of 3, and I randomly choose them. And during that time, I give them a situation. There's usually a real company involved, so they have to do some quick research, but it's a quick and dirty draft of a document. And as they are preparing this as a team, I float around, I give them input, we discuss, and then I take the last 10 or 15 minutes of class and decide if there's something I need to lecture on. And then we debrief on things that went right and things that need to be strengthened. They are then given another situation that will be graded. And out of class, they're supposed to be doing the best they can do draft of that particular document. They come back to class with that. They go back into their same teams. And this time, their team members are giving them input. I, at the same time, am giving some written feedback, and I'm also discussing orally with them what they're doing. But we talk about team stages, that there's going to be the storming stage. There should be, not to be scared of that. We talk about groupthink, that you don't say yes just because that's the easy way to do it. We talk about team roles, team task roles, team relationship roles. There needs to be that encourager, there needs to be that researcher, and that every person has a place in the team. They also know that at the end they get to give peer feedback and analyze what their teams did. And I used to think that everybody would say, you give me perfect score and I'll give you a perfect score, but that doesn't happen at the end. We're so tired of this project by now, and we're so tired of each other that we're going to be painfully honest. In fact, I've had some students say, do I have to give any points? And they also, another thing I do is they have a team contract. And so we put that team contract up at the beginning. So if you miss 2 team meetings, we get to take 10 points off your score, and we get to divide that among the other team members. So they know there are some teeth, there are some penalties for not meeting their expectations. And many of them, I just read my course evaluations from last semester, and that comes up, that team contract was really valuable, because it's not, we don't think you're doing your job. Well, what does that mean? Well, our contract says if you don't have your material ready, that we can, the first time you get a warning, second time we talk to you, and third time we tell Judy to take off points. So it's been very valuable. Because we do different kinds of documents, we do good news and bad news and routine and persuasive documents. Each document has a specific structure to it. And because I can quickly look at their documents and tell if they have a direct opening or an indirect opening, I can look at how many times they've used negative words, so we can quickly circle those. In fact, that's one of the things I do. I say, take your own document, circle every negative word you've used, or you circle every TION word you've used. Doesn't mean you necessarily have to get rid of it, but you have to be able to look at it to decide if that's the word you use. So I think in the writing course such as this, I know exactly what I'm looking for, which might be a little different from other kinds of courses with the writing. But I'm able to very quickly, and I tell them, this is not the same depth that I'm going to be grading your document later on, but these are just some highlights of things that you need to be looking for. I think in other classes, just maybe having an outline of a plan of some sort of specifically what needs to be included, and having the students check that, or being able to check that very quickly, would be very helpful. Takeaway. The hoped for, or the anticipated takeaways were that they're much more comfortable asking their team members questions than they are me. They appreciate the opportunity to get to draft and revise before they get a grade, and they also are much more engaged in what's going on, and those things happened. My hoped for takeaways were that they would understand the material in more depth, and their grades would be higher. That has happened, but I think for an interesting reason. We do this 3 times, and so after the first time, they realize that their team members are going to get to see their writing. So rather than just throwing together something, they spend more time out of class on this best I can do draft so that their team members see what they can really do. Doing that, then they get a deeper understanding of the material.